Shalom and welcome to Reality Check. You know, I'll never forget how upset I was when, at the age of 5 or 6, I learned that Santa Claus was a lie. I was beyond devastated to find out that my parents had lied to me because up until then, I had trusted them with my whole being. It never occurred to me that they would fool me into believing in a mythical being. But from that moment on, I never again trusted them. The thing is, jolly old Saint Nick is a character with absolutely no relevance to the birth of the Messiah. Some say Santa Claus represents the spirit of giving, but the problem is, Santa has become the central figure of Christmas, with his giving to you while taking the focus completely off Messiah. Christmas today is a holiday that doesn't include Messiah Yeshua at all. I mean, where, I ask you, is the Messiah in a red-robed fat man going up and down chimneys, breaking into homes? I mean, for crying out loud, atheists celebrate Christmas. And without Messiah, just what is the purpose of Christmas besides getting together with family and going into debt to buy everyone presents? Speaking of which, have you ever noticed that this gift exchange thing has gotten way out of hand? Honestly, why are we even doing it? The 3 wise men gave gifts to Yeshua, not to each other. Are we giving gifts to Yeshua at Christmas time? No, Christmas is all about us and the anticipation of presents we're getting in hopes that the presents we bought for someone else won't end up being returned to the store. The bottom line is, Christmas is not the birthday of Yeshua. If you'll examine the festivals of Yahweh, you'll soon figure out that Yeshua was born on the first day of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, which on our Gregorian calendars falls in the September or October time frame. That particular year, people from all over gathered in Jerusalem for the census commanded by Augustus Caesar, and that is why there was no room at the inn and why Miriam, or Mary, was forced to give birth in a stable. This information can be found in Luke 2, 1-8, which says the following. Around this time, Emperor Augustus issued an order for a census to be taken throughout the empire. This registration, the first of its kind, took place when Quirinius was governing in Syria. Everyone went to be registered, each to his own town. So Joseph, because he was a descendant of David, went up from the town of Nazareth in the Galilee to the town of David called Bethlehem in Yehuda to be registered with Miriam, to whom he was engaged and who was pregnant. While they were there, the time came for her to give birth, and she gave birth to her first child, a son. She wrapped him in cloth and laid him down in a feeding trough because there was no space for them in the living quarters. In the countryside nearby were some shepherds spending the night in the fields guarding their flocks. This is proof that Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. It's cold in December and there are no shepherds guarding their flocks in the fields at that time of year. Plus, Augustus Caesar wouldn't have had a census in the dead of winter because weather conditions might not have allowed for people to make a pilgrimage to Jerusalem on foot or horseback. Many Christians know that December 25th isn't really the birthday of our Messiah, but for some reason they're willing to overlook it, making all kinds of excuses to justify this lie that is Christmas. Some, in their attempt to justify it, insist Christmas time is fun for the kids or for getting families together, and so they say it's instrumental in getting the word out about Jesus because it witnesses to the secular world. Really? Is present giving, trampling over each other at the malls, going into debt, dealing with upset children because they didn't get what they wanted, or putting lights up all over your house really getting out the word about Jesus? For decades now, Christmas has been totally commercialized. Jesus has been relegated to the background because Christmas has become all about shopping. Let me ask you something. Do we really expect a man-made holiday to be a holy day? Really? Mankind is notorious for making up or reading into Scripture, and that's why there are dozens of religions and nearly 40,000 different Christian denominations, each one believing itself to be the one that Jesus brought. So what would cause us to think that a man-made holiday like Christmas, with its roots originating in paganism, will please Yahweh, our Elohim? He constantly warned his people about adopting the customs of the nations. Please take some time on your own to read Deuteronomy 12:28 through 32, where Yahweh warns his people not to take on the customs of the Gentiles, and which says in part, "Obey and pay attention to everything I am ordering you to do, so that things will go well with you and with your descendants after you forever, as you do what Adonai sees as good and right." Is the commercialized Santa Claus is coming to town celebration of Christmas truly good and right? Take a look at Jeremiah 10:1 through 5. "Hear the word of Adonai speak to you, house of Israel. Here is what Adonai says. Don't learn the way of the Goyim. Don't be frightened by astrological signs, even if the Goyim are afraid of them, for the customs of the peoples are nothing. They cut down a tree in the forest. A craftsman works it with his axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fix it with hammer and nails so that it won't move. Like a scarecrow in a cucumber patch, it cannot speak. It has to be carried because it cannot walk. Do not be afraid of it. It can do nothing bad. Likewise, it is unable to do anything good." This is not talking to just the Jews, people, as so many Christians claim. Yahweh is addressing all who believe in him. We are all to be holy and set apart for him. He never said that some of his people would be allowed to make up their own rules and regulations or come up with their own holy days. Contrary to popular belief, when it comes to obedience to his forever commands, Yahweh does not differentiate between his natural and adopted children. So why, oh why, would he be happy about Christmas, which is so counter to his commands? Yahweh told us exactly when his holy days are, with each carrying a significant meaning echoing into eternity. Please join me next time when I will be discussing Yahweh's appointed times in detail. Shalom.